Have you ever been around someone who smiled to your face, but something in your gut told you it wasn't real? They said all the right things, nodded at all the right moments, but something felt off. Like a whisper inside you saying, "This isn't genuine." You're not imagining things. What you're feeling is what Carl Jung called the shadow, the hidden part of human nature that people try to conceal. Jung knew that what people show on the surface is often just a mask, hiding darker feelings underneath. When someone secretly dislikes you, they don't usually come out and say it. Instead, they wrap their true feelings in fake smiles, empty compliments, and actions that slowly drain your energy and confidence. It's not a knife in your back. It's a slow poison administered while they hug you. This psychological game is exhausting because you start questioning yourself. Am I just being paranoid? Maybe I'm overthinking things. But that gut feeling persists, doesn't it? That sensation that something isn't aligned between what they say and how they make you feel. In this video, I'll reveal 8 disturbing signs that someone close to you, a friend, family member, co-worker, might secretly harbor negative feelings toward you. Not just dislike, but actual resentment or hate. Most people don't catch these signs until they've already been hurt, used, or betrayed. But by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to spot these hidden enemies. And sign number 8 will completely change how you read people for the rest of your life. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Sarcasm as contempt. I was just kidding. Don't be so sensitive. How many times have you heard that after someone made a joke that felt more like an attack? There's a difference between playful teasing and what Jung would recognize as disguised aggression. When someone repeatedly targets your insecurities through humor, your appearance, your past mistakes, your dreams, it's not comedy. It's contempt wearing a smile. They've found a way to hurt you while maintaining plausible deniability. If you react, you're too sensitive. If you laugh along, you give permission for more. Jung understood that our unconscious feelings often leak out through humor. When someone consistently makes you the punchline, when their jokes always seem to find your vulnerable spots, that's not coincidence, it's calculation. Think about that friend who always jokes about the thing you're most insecure about. Maybe it's your weight, your career choices, your relationship status. They wrap it in laughter, but somehow their jokes always leave a sting. Everyone else might be laughing, but deep inside, you feel exposed, belittled. And if you dare to express that it hurt, they turn it around. Why are you so sensitive? Can't you take a joke? This is gaslighting disguised as humor. They hurt you, then make you feel crazy for being hurt. This creates a perfect shield for their aggression. They get to express their contempt while appearing playful to everyone else. Pay attention to how their jokes make you feel. Do you laugh in the moment but feel smaller afterward? Do you dread being around them because you might become their target again? True friends uplift with humor. False ones use it as a weapon that leaves no visible wounds. Chapter 2. Covert sabotage. Oh, I completely forgot to tell you about that opportunity. I thought you already knew. I was just trying to help. Jung identified a pattern in human behavior, the trickster archetype, that operates through deception and misdirection. In relationships, this manifests as subtle sabotage disguised as forgetfulness or misplaced help. They forget to pass along important information. They give advice that makes things worse. They miss deadlines that affect your success. Once is a mistake. Twice is coincidence. But when it keeps happening, that's a pattern. Let me give you an example. Your co-worker forgets to include you in an important email thread, and you show up unprepared to a meeting. Your friend didn't realize. An opportunity was perfect for you until after the deadline passed. Your relative gives you financial advice that sounds logical, but somehow leaves you worse off than before. Each instance seems innocent when viewed alone. They apologize, seem genuinely sorry, maybe even try to make it up to you. But Jung would ask us to look at the pattern, not the isolated events, because the shadow doesn't announce itself. It operates in the blind spots of our awareness. The most dangerous part is how they frame it, always as an honest mistake or well-intentioned help. They appear supportive while quietly placing obstacles in your path. Jung knew that unconscious envy often drives people to undermine others while maintaining a facade of friendship. Notice those who are consistently forgetful about things that matter to you. Who gives advice that never quite works out? Who's always trying to help but somehow makes everything harder? These aren't accidents, they're tactics. Chapter 3. Unspoken rivalry. You share good news, a promotion, an achievement, a personal win, and immediately they shift the conversation to their own accomplishments. That's great. Speaking of which, Jung described how our shadows contain the competitive, envious parts of ourselves that we don't want to acknowledge. When someone can't celebrate your wins without immediately drawing attention to their own, you're witnessing their shadow in action. They don't compete openly. There's no declared race. Instead, they create an invisible scoreboard where your success somehow threatens their self-worth. So they counter every achievement you mention with one of their own, not to connect, but to ensure they're not outshone. It shows up in subtle ways, changing the subject when you're receiving praise, mentioning their related but better experience, or finding ways to diminish your achievement while appearing supportive. If someone consistently turns your moments of pride into competitions they need to win, they're not celebrating with you. They're competing against you from the shadows. Chapter 4. The hollow performance of care. I'm so happy for you. That's amazing. I care about you so much. The words sound right, but something feels empty. Jung called this the persona, the social mask we wear. While everyone has a persona, some people use it to conceal rather than to connect. True feelings create resonance. When someone genuinely cares, you feel it beyond their words, in their eyes, their energy, their presence. But when someone is performing care rather than feeling it, there's a disconnect that your intuition picks up on. They say supportive things but are nowhere to be found when you actually need support. Their compliments sound rehearsed. Their eyes don't light up when you succeed. They check the boxes of friendship without providing its substance. Jung would see this as a failure of authentic connection. They're showing you their persona while keeping their true self hidden. If someone's care consistently feels performative rather than genuine, if there's always something missing in their support, your intuition is trying to tell you something important. Chapter 5. The Shadow Parent. I'm only saying this because I care about you. Trust me, this isn't a good idea. I know what's best for you. One of Jung's most powerful insights was how archetypes can become distorted in relationships. The parent archetype, when twisted, becomes controlling rather than nurturing, dominating instead of guiding. This is perhaps the most insidious form of hidden dislike because it so perfectly mimics love. They frame their control as protection, their doubt as concern, their limitations as guidance. They make you question your own judgment while positioning themselves as your protector. But notice how you feel after these interactions. Do you feel empowered or diminished? Do you trust yourself more or less? Do you feel free to grow or pressured to comply? True support believes in your capacity and respects your autonomy. It doesn't need to control your choices to show its care. If someone consistently makes you doubt yourself under the guise of helping you, they're not protecting you, they're controlling you. If you've been nodding along, if any of these signs have hit home for you, take a moment to subscribe. We're diving deep into human psychology here, and there's much more to explore together. Now let's return to our exploration of Jung's wisdom. Chapter 6. Shadow Projection. You walk into a room and conversations suddenly shift. People glance at you, then away. Something feels off, but nothing is said directly. Jung's concept of projection explains why some people criticize behind your back instead of addressing issues directly. They project their own insecurities and flaws onto you, then attack you for possessing what they can't acknowledge in themselves. This is why gossip is so revealing. It shows more about the speaker than the subject. The person who smiles to your face but tears you down when you're gone isn't just being two-faced. They're engaging in shadow projection. They question your motives, twist your words, plant seeds of doubt about your character, all while maintaining a friendly facade when you're present. This creates a poisonous dynamic where you can sense something's wrong but can't address it directly because nothing is said to your face. Pay attention to unexplained tension, to sudden changes in how others treat you after they've spoken with this person, to information that gets distorted as it travels. These are signs that someone is engaging in shadow projection, attacking in you what they fear in themselves. Chapter 7. The Betrayal of Joy. They were there for you during your darkest times. They listened, supported, comforted. But when things started looking up, when you began to succeed and flourish, they disappeared. Or worse, they stayed physically present but emotionally withdrew. Jung understood that some people can only connect through shared suffering. Your pain makes you relatable to them. Your success makes you threatening, so they can hold your hand through failure but can't genuinely celebrate your triumphs. You'll notice it in small ways. How they change the subject when you share good news. How their congratulations feel forced. How they find subtle ways to diminish your achievements or remind you of past struggles when you're feeling confident. This isn't friendship. It's emotional vampirism. They connect to your struggles because it places them in a position of power or equality. Your success disrupts that dynamic, triggering their insecurity and resentment. If someone was present for your pain but becomes distant during your progress, they weren't supporting you, they were feeding off your struggle. Chapter 8. Body language never lies. Here's the truth that Jung understood perhaps better than anyone. The unconscious mind always finds a way to express itself. You can control your words, your facial expressions, even some of your reactions. But your deeper feelings will leak through in ways you can't consciously control. This is why body language is the ultimate truth teller. When someone secretly harbors negative feelings toward you, their body betrays them in countless subtle ways. Their smile forms quickly, but fades just as fast. Their body angles slightly away from you during conversation. They maintain less eye contact, or their gaze is cold. There's tension in their jaw when you speak. They physically distance themselves in group settings. Their arms cross when you share successes. They give delayed reactions to your good news, a split-second pause before they congratulate you. Think about the last time you felt that disconnect with someone. Maybe they said, "I'm so happy for you," but their eyes didn't crinkle with genuine joy. Maybe they hugged you, but their body felt stiff, pulling away a second too soon. Maybe they listened to your story, but their foot pointed toward the door, their shoulders turned slightly away from you. None of these signs alone tells the whole story, but together they create a pattern that your intuition recognizes before your conscious mind can name it. That feeling in your gut when someone's energy feels off? It's your unconscious mind reading their unconscious signals. Jung called this the wisdom of the body, an ancient intelligence that processes thousands of microsignals beyond our conscious awareness. When you feel uncomfortable around someone despite their friendly words, you're not being paranoid. You're receiving information through channels deeper than language. So what do you do when you recognize these signs? The answer isn't to confront or accuse. Jung would suggest something more powerful. Individuation, the process of becoming more fully yourself. Set boundaries quietly but firmly. Redirect your energy toward those who genuinely celebrate your growth. Practice discernment without becoming cynical. Understand that others' shadows aren't personal. They reflect inner struggles that began long before they met you. Most importantly, trust your intuition, that quiet voice that warns you when something feels off. It carries ancestral wisdom from thousands of generations before you. It reads the unspoken, senses the hidden, and protects what matters most, your authentic self. Not everyone deserves close access to your life. Some people belong in your heart, others belong at a healthy distance. When you recognize the signs we've discussed, you're not seeing reasons to hate in return. You're seeing reasons to protect your peace. Because true connection, the kind Jung spent his life understanding, can only happen when both shadows and light are acknowledged. Until then, wisdom means knowing the difference between those who truly support your wholeness and those who secretly resent it. If this video resonated with you, leave a comment sharing which sign you've encountered most in your life, and subscribe for more insights into the hidden patterns that shape our relationships. Together, we're not just learning psychology, we're learning to live more authentic, discerning lives. Remember, awareness is the first step toward freedom. And now, you're aware.